So by default, KINERACTIVE's set up to only display certain axes, vertical, horizontal, mouse scroll wheel, and certain button inputs, fire 1, fire 2, fire 3, and so forth. And these you probably recognize as the default options that come with Unity. So how do we add our own? So the first thing you would do is go into the project settings, you go into the input manager, and let's duplicate one, and we'll call this tutorial button. And while we're at it, let's duplicate that again, and we'll call it tutorial axis. Let's just say positive button right bracket, negative button left bracket. So that way it's an axis, goes back and forth. So we've put in our extra button and our extra axis, and close that, and then we go into button input and it's still not there. We go on axis input and our new axis still isn't there either. So the way we do that is we go into KINERACTIVE config inputs. Actually, you can do this anywhere, but I'll just put it in here to keep it neat and tidy. So you right click on your folder, you go create, select KINERACTIVE, and we want a new player inputs scriptable object file, and we'll call this custom input. And now we just have to fill out these fields. So we'll increase the size of those, and our button input was called tutorial button, and our axis was called tutorial axis. If we have a whole set of controls, we can make this as long as we want and fill that out with all of our custom controls that we've set up, but we'll just leave it at 1 for the moment. And then we go into our KINERACTIVE manager, and we need to change this player inputs field to our custom input scriptable object that we created. So I'll pop that in. And now if we go back to the button input, you can see we can select tutorial button from there, and we can select tutorial axis from here. So this lets us create and filter whatever inputs we want out of the input manager. So this means you only have to set that up once, and then you can just select them from drop down boxes after that. You never have to type them again. And the other advantage is that you're not scrolling through potentially hundreds of different inputs, because we've got it filtered out through this custom inputs file. So let's see if that worked. So we've set the button input to be triggered by the tutorial button, which I believe was the escape key. So let's see how that works. Yep, I'm pressing escape and that's getting pressed.